Hello and good day. My name is Chris Palmer with chrispalmer.org. This will be the weekly SEO Mastermind. I never realized when you set up a video and schedule it out, and you generally utilize a streaming software like OBS Studio, that you need to connect that way. With that being said, I don't have that here. So that's okay. We took care of that. A little bit behind, so if there's anything that I can help you with, I'll be happy to do so. What I need to do, though, is I want to remove some of the... I realized when I click the stream button, it like launches this old video, and it's really weird. So in any case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of some of the other stuff, and yeah. I'm going to wait for anyone to come in and see. All right. And Michael, if you see this, erase the old video. Hey, Carlos, great to see you. Glad you could make it. Half hour. What's a half hour, right? No sweat. Hey, this is a lesson. So then I know for next time, hey, if I pre-schedule out a stream, make sure I have the same way to connect to it. So, no issue. No issue. I always have a lot of fun. What stinks, though, is we still have 19 people waiting over here that have not transferred over, so that makes me sad. Come to the new stream, please. In any case, absolutely terrific here in Paradise Valley for spring training. You know, it's been going pretty well. I was working on some test stuff for another speech. I'm going to do a breakout talk related to, really for me, the format's going to be, okay, here's what we're testing, here's why we're testing it, and here's why it's valuable to you, and then, oh, by the way, here's the test. Because I think that'll be helpful. Here, let me dim some of this down. I'll shut this, lock the door, put this like this, right? Get rid of some of that sun, that glare, and then feel free to get your questions in. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about this debauchery. It like had me flustered for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, why won't it let me in? So then I was like, see, you have your app, and then you can log in through, say, Safari or through Google normally, and then go to View Channel, Edit Video. Then you have your app, but then you also have YouTube Studio. So I tried every single way to get in, and I was like, man, I can't get in. So then I was like, all right, let's just go live. Then when you go live, there's multiple features. There's a way that you can schedule it. You can go live, or you could do a webcam now. So it's just I never had to go through that. So I guess that's a learning experience. I know exactly what to do now. So I'll never have that happen again. I'll know if I don't have access to if I know I'm going to leave and I'm not going to have access to my streaming software, I'll know to set it up without the streaming software. Also, moving forward, I didn't do it this week because I'm traveling. Like, I don't need one more thing to think about. But moving forward, I'm going to start using Restream so we can talk to each other. But, I mean, that wasn't a top priority for me. Traveling, I was getting my slides, getting my material together. I was talking with other people to see, hey, what are you presenting? What are you talking about? What's the material? Like, what level of knowledge are you bringing? So as I was talking to others, I wanted to just get, you know, like, hey, that's cool, you're talking about this, but I want people to be able to leave with actionable things, actual information that they can deploy. Like, there's cool little tricks, and that stuff's like super cool, and I like that. But then there's the stuff that moves the needle that you can deploy on a daily basis, and that's where I'm at. I love the tricks. Like, I think that's great for beginner level, and I notice a lot of newer guys that start doing YouTube or doing courses, they'll start with the tricks. And that's cool. But that's not how you breed success for a business. You know, there's a little, I like the word sauce. You know, you could sprinkle a little sauce on it, but all right, back to this thing. So I learned last night, I did like a little stream by myself. I was lonely, I can't lie. I was lonely, so I did a stream last night and I realized about this chat. So get your questions in. Anything I could help you out with, I'll be more than happy to do. You could be more precise. I consider this a group consulting call. I'll be a little bit more, not a little bit more, I'll be a lot more open. As this particular channel, this mastermind grows, you know, I think we'll do live and then shut it down, and then hide the videos. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, because I'm still trying to grow a community here too, right? So I want to be super open and super helpful, but I also want to be able to grow a community. So I'm thinking we can stream, show, hey, here's what we're doing, and then shut it off. Hey, you want to see the rest? Membership. I'll talk with Michael about this. Michael, who helps me out with this mastermind, he is great. If he didn't live so far away, I was talking to my brother, I was like, man, this dude would be great. He's, you know, there's multiple types of people, right? I don't know how you want to look at it, but there's connectors, right? And then there's like okay, here's the big idea, and then here's how you turn all the little screws to make that idea a reality. I got the idea. It's putting the people in place to help you turn the screws on the way. I know how to do it, but I'm not as efficient as some. So you got to know your weaknesses, you know? All right, I'm going to use the lavatory so I don't have to get up at all. Get some questions in. I'll be 2 seconds, all right? I'll be right back. Alrighty. You know what else I gotta get, right? Dude, I went up to Walmart last night with my friend Dre. Speaking of my friend Dre, he runs the SEO video show. He's a great guy, man. You know, he offered this morning, he said, hey, Chris, you know, I noticed that you don't have a media kit. And I'm like, what the heck is a media kit, bro? He's like, dude, you gotta have a media kit. You need to be able to showcase and convey all of the little things that you're doing and how you can help. You know, like it's all about how you package things up. But in any case, man, this guy's great. He has a lot of I know SEO, but I'm not a corporate guy, right? Clearly, in case you didn't know. Clearly, that's the case, right? I know what I know because I learned it the hard way. I didn't have any guidance, but I do feel that having that's too little, right? How's that? Is that a little better? Well, you guys know what I look like, right? I like a lot of light. Plus, I'm waiting for the questions to come in. I'm sorry, I'm hyperactive, in case you didn't know that. All right, I'm ready to focus. I got my water, I got my beverage here. All right, let's see how I can help you guys and gals. All right, starting at the top here. SEO video show. There's my guy, Dre. What's up, Dre? All right, so let's go down here. All right, let's go see here. All right, so Carlos is saying hello. All right, yay, sorry, my college is late. All right, mic check, mic check. What's up, Chris? Oh, yeah, what's up? What, is my mic bad, bro? I hope not. I'm on an iPad. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You know, I was using this little. I have a little gaming laptop, right? But I gave it to my daughter to utilize because she's doing like. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just buy an iPad and take it on my travels. You can use the laptop. Just take it. But I also have like a little Chromebook. I might throw the Chromebook out the window because I really enjoy this. This I hate to admit, but some of these Apple products, man, they're pretty tight, man. I can't lie. I like how they seamlessly work. But anyway, it's working. Okay, good. Enough babble. Let's see here. So hey, Chris, I read about. Okay, sorry, I'm late. It's okay. It's kind of like college, right? Like you can come in late, you could skip the class. I mean, it's up to you, man. So Tanya says, hey Chris, I read more about PageRank and I must admit that I was wrong. Oh, cool. Okay. So you saw my video last night. Yeah, man, I was, see, I don't know, I know a lot about this thing, right? So it's like, oh man, like, here's things, or like even my friend, like Craig was, and I'm like, man, like, you understand it this way, but I promise you it's actually this way, you know? So I wanted to make a conscious effort to assist you in the understanding of what PageRank is and how it works. Because even though they say that, you know, it's expired and they have better algorithms, I personally am still a very firm believer that PageRank still matters. There's no question in my mind at all. So I'm glad that you read it and it helped you out. Because understanding the old stuff is wildly helpful now. All right, so traffic is likely counted separately and taken into consideration much later. Sorry for, yeah, no problem, Tanya. Regarding your on-page process, do you count words on the whole page or the main content only? If the whole page, and why? Also, do you count words inside link anchors? Okay, great question, Tanya. So Google's looking at what's called the render DOM, the render document object, right? So people are reading the words in the body text. They don't, what I'm getting at here is not to make it too long because we're going to get a lot of questions here. Google's looking at the render DOM, right? So if we know they're looking at the render DOM and they're taking into account every object that's on that page, then that's exactly what we're going to look at. So when we're doing the counting, the best tool that I found to count everything that's on that page that was free, because, you know, I don't know how long you've been with me. I'm a firm believer in just because you can spend it doesn't mean you should, right? So, hey, if it's free and it does the job, that's what I'm going to use, right? So with that being said, well, I'll use SEO Quake in order to take into account all of the elements that are on the page, and I'm going to count all of the words in order to come up with an equation for primary terms, entities, and LSI, all right, and headers, of course. And then the second part of your question, Tanya, was related to anchors. A tags on the page, if you read more of the patents, I'm a nerd, right? So like, I don't get like Time Magazine or Health and, you know, Health and Wealth or whatever those magazines are. Like I'll sit and I have it. I probably still have them open on my phone. There's little Chris too. That's my guy, by the way. Anyway, and I'll sit and I'll read. I know that that's not a clear depiction of exactly what they're doing, but at least it's an understanding or a helpful understanding. Okay. So with that being said, hyperlinks are looked at differently. They hold more weight. When you're looking at a page and you're looking at optimization, there's weighting to certain elements. What I mean by this is H1s and title tags have more weight. They're measured differently, right? So if we understand this, and after reading through many patents of anchor text, about anchor text and hyperlinks in general and how PageRank works, it's clear to understand that hyperlinks are being counted, and then words that are in those hyperlinks is massively important. So yes, I'm counting them, and yes, I'm counting the ones that contain a primary term, but don't forget a empty A tag that if you have an exact match or a partial match domain, and then you have, let's say, website.com/primary keyword and primary keyword plus city in your URL, and you're not using an anchor text, it's still getting credit for primary term because it's empty and it's the URL. So you'll get credit for the words, okay? So what I'm getting at here is if you're competing against an exact match or a partial match domain, and I see they have empty A tags, but they still have a primary term in the URL, I'm counting it. Like, oh, that's an optimized A tag. All right, so, okay. All right, so let's not lose our place. Remember, okay, Carlos, remember you said you changed the pixels for any stock pictures to make them original. What were they again? So if you want to, Carlos has been around a long time. So that was in I showcased that inside of a training, but really at the end of the day, images are hash codes, right? And in order to have a M5 hash code or whatever it's called and make it unique, you only have to change the image ever so slightly for Google to recognize it as unique. Now, a lot of people, what they'll do to take a shortcut is they'll just put an overlay on it. But Google's pretty clever, right? So I think that not only should we put the word on top of the image, but you can also change the shade of it. You can switch it, like swap it. You can change the tone of the image. You can make it brighter or darker, put an overlay on it. So anything that you're doing to shift the pixels and change the hash, which is going to make a unique image. Just changing the name does not change the hash, by the way. We tested that. I tried that. Okay. All right. So that was from Carlos. Thank you, Carlos. And then Bach says, can an online CBD company have a Google business profile? Depending on where you are, yes. Yeah, you can. Now, I think there are some rules and restrictions on what it needs to be listed as. So don't quote me on that, but I know for sure that yes, you can have a GBP. More Than SEO says, just wanted to say thanks for your help with press release distribution for local clients. What follow-ups do you implement, such as CTR, Tier 2 linking, adding URLs to G Seeds, GSA, etc.? Thank you, Matt. Okay. So PR is one element. You don't have to follow it up other than with more PR after, say, 90 days or 6 months or whatever the budget, there's always budget and time restrictions, right? Regardless of who I'm talking to. So it's not that you have to point GSA to those links, but you can. It's not that I have to build extra PRs to the same pages, but you can. But I think if you were going to do any of them, and it'd be easy, scalable, consistent, and give you a repeatable result, what I would do is I would build out those PRs. For our better clients, this is what we do. You'll build out the PRs when everything falls out, but before it falls out, so within 30 to 45 days, because you know how you build a PR and then you only retain about 10 to 15 links, right? Well, if you start building GSA to each of those data points, every single PR, you'll get a higher rate inside the search results. So there's more visibility. So that's something that we do, but not for every client, because not every client's willing to pay that, you see? But honestly, between us, right, and anyone who sees this, the search results aren't the index. All we need to know is that Google crawled it and saw it, and it will pass PageRank. There's no question. If you go and read the patent, it's very, very clear that, there's inverse document, right? There's the forward-facing index, and then there's the index, right? Search results has filters. Then the real index is anything that's crawled has been indexed. It's been cataloged. If it's been cataloged, I can still get credit. But clients want to see all those links. So it's really just dependent on, do you want power? Let's go see here. What's this? Hello. Miss, can I have towels? You don't mind, do you? Thank you. And then I put the trash right here. Thank you. You're the best. Could I have whatever the replacements are for these here? I put all the dirty stuff here and then the trash here. The trash and towels, that's all. Thank you for your time, ma'am. I apologize. Sorry. Very nice. Okay. Where were we? PageRank. Okay. So back to your question. Maybe I'm giving you too much information. So I want to be able to help you. In order to know that it works, you need to understand why, right? So that's the main objective here. So as far as what's the next steps, what I would make sure that I'm doing is you'll issue your press release. You can run GSA to the PRs. Don't worry about the top tier ones like the Yahoos and the Market Watches, the digital journals, the stuff that's going to stick no matter what because of the authority. Worry about the Nebraska News and all that stuff. Power that stuff up so you get a higher indexation rate, and then you have more, you get more inside the SERPs. That's pretty much it. The other piece, though, is those pages that you're pointing your PRs to. What we like to do is we like to start building directories to those internal pages. Why directories? Because they're cheap. That's one of the main reasons. They're considered clean, right? Like, you ever hear of anybody getting a penalty for directories? No. So you can build them very rapidly. You could build a boatload of them. And this is what I always find funny. People cry and say, oh, you can't build guest posts to a website, right? Like, I can't go and build 200 guest posts. But you could go out there and build 500 directories, citations, and Web 2s and blast that in. No problem. Oh, that's no problem. I think you can build as much as you want as long as you're directing it to multiple pages. Okay? So if I had to tell you what's the next step, every 90 days you'll issue a new press release. The press releases that you build links to the PR links that are lower equity. On top of that, we're going to build directory links to those pages, right? Directories, branded Web 2. You know, if you have more of a budget, right? Like, I know it's considered dirty. You can go for the link inserts. You could do link inserts, or you can do lower cost PBN links. Like lower cost PBN links, like $1 to $5 type, okay? And that's how you follow that up. I'm looking to get a velocity of referring domains to the pages that I want to rank. That's it. So that's the follow-up. Hopefully that helps you. I'll try not to go in too hard on these. I apologize. Just wanted to say thank you. Hey, Chris, do you recommend any management tools to keep your projects organized? All right. So what we do is I utilize a tool called SPP. All right. So I sell service, right? I'm never looking to add more jobs on top, right? Like, I don't want a job to add more jobs that I have to manage to have more people to report on to make sure that this is organized. Okay, we're going to talk about this. We're going to do this. No. What we focus on is, okay, we have, let's say, Compass Carpet. Compass Carpet needs PR, citations, guest posts, on page, pages created, form, all created in a database, and then every 14 days, those jobs need to be done. If they're not, they get moved to inside of our dashboard, it'll just say overdue. And what my brother and I do every single week is we go through the overdues. Why is this not done? Why is this not done? Why is this not done? That's it. That's it. So that's how we do it. Is that the best? But I'm never looking to add more layers. A, I don't want to spend more money. B, I don't want to spend more time. And C, I don't want another person for another job that actually really doesn't need to be done. So that's my opinion. But I'm evolving every day with the business side of doing it. I got the SEO unlock. The execution, the deliverable time, And communication is what we still strive to achieve an A+ on. All right, so hopefully that helps you. And I'm learning every day. I mean, tomorrow I might have a new answer. Who knows? All right, so hopefully that helps you. No, you're good. Can we, okay. Sir, how much time is required for a primary okay? Mark Randall's laughing. Mark, is that funny? It's good to see you, Mark. Compass is laughing. Good, good, good. I like, hey, laughs are always good. Sir, how much time is required for a primary level page to get specific position? I optimized 2 times a page by listening your winning page strategy, but I could not find my page at 100th position. All right, understood. So you've created pages. It sounds to me like on a new website or on a newer website. And are these pages about the original topic, that the main index pages that are actually there and you're getting traffic for, is it about the exact same topic or a different topic? Also, how old are those pages? How long have they been there? How old is the website? What's your internal linking? Like, there are so many ifs, but it really comes down to, is it content specific, and how long has that site and those pages been there? Those are the 2 main things. Because you could do everything right. That doesn't mean that you're going to see success, especially if you're not primed for a niche or category of keywords and you haven't waited enough time. So I hope that helps you. Just because you do good work doesn't mean you're going to get rewarded for it. Often, like I might have a 80% hit rate, but if I produce 100 pieces, I don't hit 100 times. Not a chance. No, nobody does. Nobody does. Well, if they say they do, they're wildly lying. Like, I've talked to guys that are late, and ladies actually, and you're not going to hit every time, so I just want to let you know. All right, SEO video show, there's Dre. Callum, hey Chris, if you have your social pages ranking on the SERP, what kind of links would you be looking to get to give the page a boost, if that helps? Okay, so if the social pages would show up for my branded terms, social pages are not going to need any assistance from any equity that we can point at that. Nor do I want to spend time or money powering up a social network. They're already DR99s. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need any help. And then what? We want to give them an extra push so they come in and outshine our site? I would take it easy there. What I would focus on is looking for social citations. I would utilize these particular platforms because I don't know if you noticed this or not, but they always index, right? Like, if you look up, I'll just give you one piece. If you look up, say, 30 West Broad Street, floor 2, Tamaqua, right? And go and take a look at all of the social citations that I've created on IG, LinkedIn, YouTube. Every platform I create social citations. Now what I'll do is I'll append my name, the address to specific keywords that are, of course, niche specific to what I do and the services I provide, right? Now, why would I do that? Because I have a citation that's referencing my name, my address, my phone number, and I'm tying it to a specific set of keywords that I'm known for. That's my recommendation. I don't build links to them. They don't need links. They just simply don't need any help. I'm not going to spend my money. Like, Zuckerberg doesn't need any help from us. You know what I mean? So hopefully that helps you out. Now, if Zuck wants to help me, I'm open to suggestions from him. All right, so moving on here. No, you're good. It's working fine. Just the background is hurting the eyes. Okay. Here, watch this. Hop up on my bed. I turned my swag on. I looked in the mirror, I said, what's up? Yeah. Cactus? Dude, I should ask the lady, like, hey, you think you could give me a different background? Is that a little, oh, that actually does look, well. I'm not one to overanalyze. I usually just do. So, and then I figure it out as I go. Almost everyone on my team hates me for this. But it's the only way that I personally, Michael too, he hates me for this. But for me, like just getting it out there and doing something has been helpful. Like, hey, let's just do it and figure it out later. So, like this background. All right, so there we go. Does that look good? I mean, not the handsomest guy in the world, but that's okay. All right, here we go. Oh, I'm very excited to say. So, I think there's no question, it's been about 4 months. No, 3 months. I'm giving myself some extra. I haven't had any actual chewing tobacco. I feel very confident that I'm done. So my next big purchase is I'm gonna go get all veneers. I'm very excited for this. I heard though that I'm gonna have to rip them. I don't know. We're gonna make our decision. Do I want veneer or just implant? I'll make that choice. It depends on how business goes, really. All right, moving on. Enough about me. All right. Which page? Okay. I'm sorry, these comments, it's a little different. All right, so in media, Media Kit can definitely be helpful if you are looking to get press, do more speaking, think branding. Richard, I am. I like the speaking because I can engage and talk to like-minded people, and I love talking to people where I'm like, hey, I have been blessed enough to change my life in this industry, and I make this. We're not going to say numbers or anything, but then I talk to them, and they're like, like, good job, but here's what we're doing, and here's what worked for us. And it's like 5 times. And I always love that. It's like, wow, like that's achievable. And like, this is like normal guys, you wouldn't even know their name. And they're doing like 3-4 a year. And I'm like, what? Running at a 40% margin, doing 3 or 4 a year. Like, that's like, man. I mean, yeah, that would be, like that would secure myself, my son, like we'd be good forever. That would be such a blessing. And that's really what I want to strive for. All right, so anyway, moving on. But yeah, the doing more press, just building up more of a brand presence, like switching from Chris Palmer Marketing to just my name was kind of harmful. That wasn't the best, but progression and lessons. Hey, Chris, just jumped on. Hi, MPEX Auto Glass, good to see you. Mike is clicky. Well, it's an iPad, it's, back home, not even home, back at my office, at home I have I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called a snow cone. At home, in my home one, I have like a snow cone mic. But in my office where I make almost all my videos, you guys would never know the difference because it's always the same background. It always looks the same. But in my office, I have a Shure SM7B. So it comes out pretty good. Anyway, thank you for your answers. It's my pleasure. All right, so get some more. Why do you make... Okay. You have helped us so much. Thank you. We currently do not have a website and just got our listing back up 3 months ago. We run a roadside assistance service for 18-wheelers. Will a website help? Your roadside assistance service, is that in more than one state? Is that in more than one location? Do we have the ability to get more than one Google business profile? Also, so the answer is yes. Having a digital business card, it can't be hurtful, right, to have a website. Like, why not? Not only that, it can lend credibility, and I can help educate. So educational content, informational content. Yes, it doesn't convert very well, but it produces traffic, visibility, eyeballs, potential, right? And then on top of that, if I'm targeting more than one location, not everybody, sometimes people just search. And if I have a website tied to a GBP, it lends credibility to the GBP, and oftentimes, not saying that you need it, but oftentimes it'll help rank that GBP when what I'm talking about here is what I do here, right? So hey, if you can afford, a few $100s, or if you have some time, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't have a website. But I would answer those questions first. Am I just targeting one small section? Is it multiple cities? Is it multiple states? If the answer is, hey, I want to target more than one little small demographic or one state, then definitely yes. If it's just a small subset, what I would do is I would take a look at the top performers that are there now. Look at them inside of the tool and see how many actual visitors does their website get, right? Because the search volume in your small little town might be 300. But when you go to that top performer, they only get like 16 visitors a month. So then you have to ask yourself, average conversion for a website is 4%. Will 4% of those 16 people be enough for me to allocate the time, money, and resource to building a website? That's up to you to decide. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. All right. All right, Blogspot. Thank you for your answers. Thank you. All right, so Anus Khan says, why do you make why do you make such lengthy content, Palmer? Because the people that aren't willing to commit more than 3 minutes won't be focused enough to commit to what I'm actually teaching them. So I have just found for my audience, it's good to have both, but I generally lend to more longer videos. For instance, there's a gentleman, if you search for Google Business Profile Optimization, it says complete Google Business Profile Optimization. It's a 17-minute video. I also created a complete how to optimize your Google Business Profile video. That video was 57 minutes, right? Can you get a general idea of what to do in 17 minutes? Enough to know kind of what's going on, but just say, I'll just buy from him. Or do you think you'll actually get the full process in 57 minutes? And then if you decide at the end, like, wow, this guy I've done hundreds of them. It took him 57 minutes. It's going to take me 3 hours. It's, that's all I'm getting at. A lot of times the stuff that I'm trying to convey, it takes more than 12 minutes or 8 minutes to convey a message. So hopefully that helps. And it's not because and also too, generally when you really know something, you can convey it in a shorter period of time. That's true. However, some of the concepts and ideas and walkthroughs take a little bit more time. Plus, I want to spend the time with people. Plus, this is part of my business, right? So I enjoy doing this. If I didn't enjoy doing this, I wouldn't make 4 or 5 videos a week, right? So, It's never, I talk to other people that do YouTube and they're like, oh man, like it's kind of hard. And I'm thinking like, in my day, when I have to set up new ads or make YouTube videos, I'm like, woohoo! See, where I get like, oh man, I don't want to do it, is creating blog articles. Like, oh, that's like such a drag, dude. Right? I personally dislike that immensely. As you know, the only pages I would ever create on my own stuff was if I was going after a term, and that was just to show off. Like, hey, I don't have any pages on my website, but the pages that I do, okay, number one, number 5, number 6, it's just fun. It was fun for me at one time. But I quickly realized too, ranking, top 5 or top 3 for SEO anything actually doesn't produce much of anything at all. So anyway, moving on. I see some new questions here, so I'll keep going through. But thank you for your question. You missed a few questions at the top. Oh, dang it. Well, let's see what we can do here. All right. You helped us so much. For service pages, what changes do you make because of the Google Helpful Content Update? I remember you said Google can't read. Google can't read. Google can't read. But what they do read is I still need to have the right words on the page the right amount of times, with the right amount of headers, with the right amount of photos. So, and I can't, all I'm getting at is there still needs to be proper optimization. So not only does it have to be well said, right? The intent needs to be right, but I also need to make sure that the proper optimization is there. So the only thing that we have changed since this helpful content update is we no longer create geo-modified location pages. Like, that is just ineffective for us at scale. Like, if I get 10 clients, yeah, 5 of them it'll work, 5 of them it might not. Well, I can't risk those other 5, if that makes sense to you, Carlos. I'm sure it does. All right, so hopefully that helps you out. Just wanted to say thanks. Okay. Compass says, do you recommend any... Okay, so we did that. He's laughing. Required a time primary level. Okay, we talked about that. Can we simply link primary level page with supporting content without following a structure that you told? Can we link primary level page with supporting content? Yes, absolutely. Hanny G. Jr., 1,000%. I teach 2 ways, because these are the ways that I have found success. I teach a parent-child hard silo, and that's great. But I also teach creating a top-level page based on primary key term, and then just internally linking to city pages that are actually off the route. Both ways, flat or hard silo. They're both effective. You have to take a look and see what's currently performing. Like, if I'm looking down the list, let's say it's We Buy Houses, and every single winner is website.com/primary term plus city, then you best believe that's what I'm going to do. But let's say I'm going for car accident lawyer in Philadelphia, and it's website.com/injury lawyer /Pennsylvania /car injury lawyer Philadelphia. Well, then, hey, a hard silo for this niche is going to be a lot better. I don't think that's the end all be all, but I think that structure, it'll be okay. I'll be able to get away with it this way, or however you want to look at it. I call it getting away with, but that's not really what you're doing. You're just like, hey, which level of work do I need to do? Also, when there's larger sites, I have just found that a hard silo is so much easier to manage, right? Like, there's one thing to deal with a 50-page site, 60-page site, 100-page site, but when you have people that have 1,200 pages, 1,700 pages, 3,800, 38,000, you gotta, that flat stuff is cool, but when you have to make a change to every page and you have 4,000 pages, it's like, oh, dude, I won't do that again. So just be mindful. All right, moving on. Missed a few questions, so I hope that I got them. Tanya, I don't think that they take the whole DOM. They are different zones on a page, and the bot can distinguish them. Navigation body. There might be too much noise outside the main content. So I don't think they take the whole DOM. There are different zones on the page, correct, and they have different weights. There's no question, right? The body content, Tanya, inside the render DOM is definitely weighted at the highest. What I mean by this is the words that are in your body and the words that are in your H tags and the word that's in your title tag is weighted way more than the words that are in your head and your footer navigation. There's zero question of that. I completely agree with that. However, what I slightly disagree with is they're not taking the whole page into consideration. I believe that they are. I think they're taking a look at the entire page because, okay, if they weren't taking a look at the entire page, then how come we can hide stuff inside of the footer and still get rankings on pages without having anything else? Or how come we can overstuff ahead, navigation, put stuff inside of there and still get rankings, right? If it's overlooked or there's no weight there, because there is. So I agree, but slightly disagree. I think they are taking the full render DOM into account. However, the stuff that's in the body is being weighted at a higher degree. Title, H1, other H tags, paragraph text is definitely weighted at the highest end. Zero question, I agree. And then your hyperlinks and A tags that are on the page are getting counted. Hopefully that helps you. So cool. Why do you make such, okay, you missed a few, so I got those, I hope. Thank you on the press release follow-up reply, my pleasure. Deepak Saju says, thoughts on boosting Amazon listings using Parasite SEO as a seller? It's just not my game, brother. My thoughts on it, thoughts on boosting Amazon listings with Parasite SEO as a seller on Amazon. I don't sell on Amazon. I'm not the guy. I mean, I don't know. What I do know is when we had products over there, the main differential deciding factor of rank was how many sales, how fast, and how many reviews. If I wanted to get more sales, I needed to sell more. So how we were doing it was utilizing the Amazon ads. So if you're asking me, should I spend money on Parasite SEO or building links as opposed to spending money right inside Amazon to get my listing up so I can catch more sales and get more reviews, I would personally allocate the dollars toward the ads to get more sales and more reviews. If you want to buy, I know people go out there and buy products to leave reviews. They'll just manipulate that. That could also be a better allocation of dollars. Because in my opinion, ranking on Amazon is how many people are viewing, how many people are buying, and how many people are reviewing. So, yeah. And Amazon itself gets so much traffic. Like people that are buying on there are going there. I'm looking to service the people already going there, the hundreds of thousands of people that visit that site. They're going in there looking for their product. A small subset are probably going to Google to look for the product, but Amazon buyers are going right to Amazon, in my opinion. But who knows? Thank you for your answers. All right, Emilio, hello. What would you suggest someone starting in SEO? Is doing rank and rents a good idea? I think, hey, if you want to have your first failures, no matter what, if you're just getting started, there's going to be failures, regardless of the avenue that you decide. So if that's what you want to allocate time towards to get your feet wet, do it. Like, awesome. It wouldn't matter if it was rank and rent, affiliate, e-com. No matter what, there's going to be stumbling blocks and issues. I personally have just if I'm going to spend the time, the dollars, the resources in ranking an asset and waiting all that time, why would I only want to offer the leads to one person? The model just isn't for me. But hey, if you have someone that you can rent it to, and that's where you want to learn your lessons, is in that space, go for it. I mean, yeah, it's a great idea. It's a great idea just to learn and fail, you know? So yeah, it's great. Go for it. It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I would do. Clearly, I do service. Lots of people hate services. Services aren't scalable. Blah, blah. Like, right? We all see the same thing through different eyes. So that's up to you. All right, so Blogspot has high TF, but if we backlink from a relevant blog post comment, but the page has 0 TF and low traffic, then it is a waste of time or still worth getting if the TF passes through. So the overall TF, see, Blogspot specifically, isn't that a subdomain, right? So that would mean that the root domain has a high TF, but your subdomain, who knows where it's at, right? So is it worth to get one Blogspot and have it link over? Sure. But am I going to bank, Christmas dinner on it? No. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. I mean, sure, it's worth having one of them, but I wouldn't go building my whole backlink profile off a Blogspot. Not a chance. Curtis Jacobs says, our business listing ended up on my personal email account. How hard will it be to change to a business email? Super easy. Very easy. Yep. Go and sign up for Google Workspace and attach it to your domain. Job done. All right. Deepak says, if you're looking to quit tobacco, use to make your life easier and supplement with alpha GPC. Huh. Interesting. Cleo Leo says, hey Chris, how did you get the cacti in the frame? How did I get the cacti in the frame? Oh, I just moved my table. Thank you. My pleasure. Chris, is SEO just writing blog posts, articles to boost search rankings? No. I think it's a magnitude of different tasks and skills, starting with technical, on page, and off page. A piece of it is creating content, but there's a lot more than that, my friend. Curtis says, I think you do great. You have helped us for a long time, and we are very grateful. It's my pleasure, Curtis. More than SEO. For local clients, are you finding some consistent ways to get them into ChatGPT and other AI's local-based queries, such as Best Plumbers Philadelphia? Thanks for any best practices resources. Them in the ChatGPT and other AI local-based queries? That is not a top priority for me. A top priority for us is to, depending on budget, to flood multiple avenues with their name, address, phone number, and primary terms. So whether that's PR, guest posting, social media, we're looking to create content and create external content that's about the brand, business, or service at scale as fast as we possibly can, depending on their budget. And when you become the authority, you tend to show up in these types of things. But are we seeking out ways to target just that? No. At this present time, that is not a value proposition for myself, nor would I don't sell that. All right. Yo, yo, yo from Euron Brew. I hope I didn't mess up your name. I like your picture though. You got the yellow and the hand. What's up, dude? David Cromer says, love the cactus motif in your DoubleTree room. See you at 7. Thank you. Wait, what's at 7? At 7. Why? What are we doing at 7, dude? Am I doing something at 7 o'clock? If we are, I didn't know. But okay, cool. Matthew says, hey, Chris, do Google business listings rank differently in the UK to the US? I mean, is the algorithm the same? Also, is proximity the -- ranking factor? Okay, let me see here. Do local business rank differently in the UK as opposed to the US? Absolutely, there's no question. If you take a look at, like, say, local SEO UK, yes, the answer is yes. And then as far as proximity to the searcher, is that #1? Yeah. It's a close tie to the optimization within the profile, but yes, the #1 thing is going to be how close are you to that actual searcher. I would say that's tied with the optimization within the profile. I need to showcase that I do the services that the people are looking for. I think that trumps being close to them, because you could be standing right next to them, but if they're searching for SEO, but you're optimized for plumber, I know that sounds insane, but what I'm getting at here is the optimization is first, and then it's how close am I to the searcher. Hopefully that helps you out. Hey, Chris, hope you're having fun in the sun. Hey, the content writer you were telling me about, how do I get hooked up with them? I really want to get the foundation website. Yeah, I'm just away. I'm just gone. Did you talk to my brother? Book a time with my brother. Talk to my brother so you can get started. It's that simple. I'm thinking of the right person here. I just left right after we spoke. So I'm traveling, I'm taking care of these things here. But Mark, talk to my brother, go to the live chat, say, hey, it's Mark with FCS, I believe, and say, hey, let's get this rolling. That's all. I mean, it's as simple as that. All right, hopefully that helps you. Hey, how can we conduct manual backlink outreach? Still worth it, one by one? I think it could be worth it. Yeah, it could be worth it. Do you have a recommendation for a technical SEO checklist or tool? I know you don't like recommending tools, and Search Console is free, but I do better with a checklist. Let me think here. Do you have a recommendation for a technical SEO checklist or tool? I know you don't like recommending tools. As far as technical, I know the lady got mad, but I literally went to Screaming Frog. I went to each tab in Screaming Frog, and then I wrote about it. Well, I had somebody on Fiverr write about it. I said, hey, here's the audit, right? Here's what we're looking at. Okay, now go write about it. That was a learning lesson for me. That was fun. But what I'm getting at here is, if you're looking to do a technical analysis, there's a magnitude of tools. I like Sitebulb, right? But I think a more widely used tool is probably Screaming Frog. I mean, I literally wrote a book around the tabs in Screaming Frog. That is the technical audit. That's it. So that's what I would look at. Like it's literally in order. It's so funny. All right. Love the cat. Okay. Hey, Chris. Hey, Chris. How do you conduct? Okay. How often should I sign up? How often should I sign in and work on my GMB listing? Meaning, how often to add pictures with wording for 18-wheeler roadside assistance for the business? Every month? Because you're going to be logging in to add photos, I hope. I'm sure you're going to be logging in definitely to do posts, probably bi-daily, right? But you should, as far as just the pictures, that specific question, once a month. You know, I think that's very achievable and worth your while. Austin, do you have any thoughts on having disavowed URLs crawled to accelerate the effect of the disavow file? Do you have any thoughts on having disavowed URLs crawled to accelerate the effect of the disavow file? I mean, we use the API. So I guess, yeah, we're using the API for that. So I'm just thinking to myself, is that probably why, yeah, I think that sounds like a brilliant idea. Why not? Why not? Hanil, which page we first publish, low competition area or high? Both at the same time. Hello. Hello to you, sir. Deepak says, I meant using Parasite SEO to rank my Amazon listing on Google, which in turn will lead to more click sales, which in turn will bump the rankings inside Amazon walled garden. Will it? Right? You know what I mean, Deepak? Again, this isn't my space. I can't stand on a foot of authority to say either way, but I will say this. How often do you yourself trust some random article that's sitting on Outlook India to help you make a buying decision? Honestly. You'll go to Google, you'll look at the products that are up at the top, right? The ad sponsored, or you'll go right into Amazon, right? Or you'll go to the shopping tab, right? In all actuality, really, if you want to frame certain things, you can use Parasite. I think doing reviews of your product, because when people are in the informational stage before making a buying decision, they might want to review the product. Hey, what are the average prices? Where's the best deal at? Hey, what do some people say about this? But do I think that you're going to get actual sales? No, I don't. But what do I know, right? Like that's not my space, you know. I'm thinking of me when I'm making a buying decision. Would, other than a review on one of those resources, actually help? Would I ever click a link to go and buy something through that? Heck no. No, I wouldn't. But then again, I'm a marketer. So I'm not, you know, that's just my opinion. So hopefully it helps you. Hey, is there any difference between SEO process of products and articles, and thanks for all of your info you give us? So any difference between SEO process of products and articles? I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. If you can elaborate a little bit, that would be helpful. Robert Hughes says, Chris, what has your experience been with Google's new hotline for SEOs? Is it really as helpful as people are saying? Heard they answer questions about backlinks, keyword research, etc. Robert, I really, I really have zero idea about that. I've never heard of a hotline, but that sounds fun though. The old SEO hotline. That sounds funny. Mark says how to book with him. Just book a clients only. Here. Send me a text message, like when you see this after the time lapses. Send me a text message and I'll have him get in touch with you, because I know we know exactly he was there when I talked to you, just so you can get that show started. All right. His name's Alex. All right. How dangerous is it to use your personal email for backlink outreach? Personal, I think I would use business email. I think you'll have a better success rate, but that's entirely up to you. Thanks for answering, sir. My website is new and the pages are about organic topic. How should I wait to see position of my page? I'm still confused. You have a brand new website, right? You know, you have a brand new website. Like, how many links did you point to that website? How many links are on that page, on that site? How many links are pointing to that page? How good is your optimization? Do you have the right word count, the right headers? Like, if you're not hitting it, like, do I think you're just going to create an article and shoot to the top? No way, right? What I'm getting at is it's perfect that you're on topic, and that's the only topic that you talk about, right? That way you can be perceived as an authority, so Google will trust, right? But where I feel that it's going to take you time, Hanil, GJR, is you don't have any links. There's no links, there's no digital reference, there's no votes pointing to you. Now, where I think that you have a problem, though, is if your pages have been created, uploaded, they're interlinked, and you feel you've done the best job, they should be. If you search for your primary keyword that's in your title and your H1, it should be in the top 100. If it's not in those first 100, then I think that your on page is off, or you just don't have any links at all. And that's where I would go and look. But don't get discouraged. Okay? It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just there isn't enough time yet. Okay? You're not doing anything wrong. It's just time. So, but if it's not getting crawled and it's not showing in search results, then your on page isn't good enough. Okay? I don't think that you're going to reach page 1, page 2, page 3 anytime soon, because it's a brand new asset. It's going to take you months. You'll get a couple wins for weird random keywords, like your page will rank for a bunch of weird stuff. It'll be related, but it's not going to be what you're really looking for. But just know that up front, that that's going to happen. And then just magically at the 8-month mark, the site's going to take off. But make sure you keep working towards that. Just have that plan. Don't create 3 or 4 articles and then give up. Keep producing articles and wait. Like, let's take a look at our white hat friends. Back in the day before, I forget how long ago it was, but let's take a look at, do you know who Income School guys are? Right? They say they don't build links, but they do build links, but that doesn't matter. What matters, though, is they consistently create content every day without building links, supposedly, right? But their sites have like 500, 600 referring domains, but that doesn't matter, right? What matters, though, is they consistently each week produce a piece of content. And if they don't build links, great. And they do everything by the book, wonderful. If you go and look at some of the projects that they've shown, because they're completely white hat, they don't do any tricks, they don't throw any gas on the fire, allegedly. Usually it's an 8 to 16 months before the sites take off, right? And the only reason I'm using them as an example, you know, they banned one of my videos. I better be careful. I'm using them as an example because they've showcased their journey, and they're completely white hat, right? They're not building links. They're not doing it. There's no trickery. They're not counting words. They're just writing a high quality piece of content, throwing it up, and praying to the Googles that it ranks. And it does in about 8 to 16 months. And I'm telling you this because I assume that you have some of the tricks under your belt. You might be able to get it to happen a little bit faster, but these are seasoned SEOs writing content about a topic, right? You get what I'm getting at here? Take your time, don't get in a rush, but your page probably is not good enough if it's not at least hitting in that 100. Like, take a look at the on page. And I talk to people all the time, and they'll, oh, this is the best. Like, take a look at what Google's rewarding. How many words, how many headers? It's such a simple thing. What's the intent? What's in their title tag? Is it a question mark? Is it not a question mark? Simple things. And I think that'll help you out immensely. I really do. So hopefully that does help you. But definitely don't get discouraged. SEO is a long game, super long. All right? Hurry up and wait. Okay. How would you conduct manual? Okay, still worth it. All right, so how often should I sign in? Which page we first? Okay, hello to you. Hi, is there a difference between SEO process? Okay, so we did that. Okay, and then Mark, I hope that you messaged me. I'll kick you over to him. Thanks for answering, sir. My website is new and that pages are about original topic. How should I wait to see position of my page? I'm still confused. Okay, so we touched on that one. So Robert says, I'm just messing with you, Chris. Love you, dude, and thanks for all the content you create. Oh, it's my pleasure. Okay. So I was like, wait, 7 o'clock tonight. Like, wait, do I have to do something? Am I a day behind? More than SEO, I'm noticing good rankings inside Rumble, video platform, for both local and statewide keywords. However, Rumble has almost no love in Google. You seeing any ways to get Rumble into the SERPs? Not yet. Not until Google recognizes it. Plus, think about it. Other than big social media platforms, like I think once they hit scale, Google will give them a little love, but they're never going to love them like they do YouTube. Right? So that's that. Tasbo. Hi, how do I rank higher than companies like Treatwell? I have a salon, but they always rank first for hair salons, beauty salons, etc. for every city in the UK. All right. Great question. So sometimes you just need to be the best number 2 that you can be. You know, often these big, large brands are there because of trust. It's kind of like the map pack. The people aren't in the map pack always because they're the best. They're in the map pack because they're so visible and they're generating all the clicks, right? So what I'm getting at here is I don't know what the experience is like with Treatwell. I've never heard of them. I've never been to the salon. I don't know if you can tell. But what I do know is oftentimes these larger companies, a lot of people may have already experienced what they have to offer, or they've gone through them. It could be price restraints. They're the big dundada. It's like if I'm selling an affiliate product, Amazon's at the top. Not everybody's going to go there. They're going to go to the next person. So just because you can't have the first spot for those high commercial intent keywords doesn't mean that I can't be the best number 2 on the page. Also, and that doesn't mean I won't get business at position 2. Also, where these larger brands generally lack is on the stuff that we hate to do, but I think it's essential, is that supporting content. It's information. Yes, it doesn't really convert that well, but it builds out the authority for the keywords that we do want. And I'm able to dive deeper. I'm able to build depth of concept. So in my opinion, I would still go after that position 2. Hey, it is what it is. Right? But also start building depth of concept. And then 2, they're probably slacking in other areas. And where they generally slack because they are worried about perception and brand perception, they can't move as fast. So you can attack on social, you can attack with ads, you can attack with information, you can attack with more faster. And that's what I would do. Hopefully that helps. Big Chris, I just showed up. Don't know if my early questions made it in. The mastermind you did 13 days ago, you were creating an on-page series. Is there a part 2? There is not a part 2. That's going to be a mini training. We left the original part up, but I'm creating a mini training. So a mini training as in at the SEO Mastermind, we're going to have that available. I'll probably finish the rest though in this group, so it won't be sectioned off and polished, but I'll go through the rest of it here, most noted probably 50-50, but no matter what, it won't be here because I don't have my stuff, I don't have the lights, I don't, nothing, you know, but yeah, it's going to be a mini training. Mark, you're not a pest. That's not a pest. It's no sweat. It's no sweat at all, actually. All right, so Taibos, okay, they own, okay. So, hi, sir, how are you? I'm doing great. Men boob in Georgie. I messed that all up. Thank you for asking, though. Darren 3, Chris, is having a GBP with an address pin for a service like plumbing with no location beneficial? Yes, but only for a hyper-local area. So people that are in that hyper-specific area will be able to find you, but that's a hyper-specific area. All right, so hopefully that helps. My website is new, but I rejected from Google AdSense due to low-value content. How can I fix? I mean, you said it right there. It sounds to me like you need to increase the amount of content that you have and be more specific with the content you have better internal linking, maybe it's a content issue, right? So dial in your content. Without seeing it, I mean, it could be a magnitude of things, but it's probably the length of content, what content you have, what's the internal linking. You have low quality content. What we're using, AI or copy paste stuff, you just didn't put forth the effort. That's all. And that's okay. I'm guilty too sometimes. So it's all good. I'll just go back to the drawing board. All right, Robert Hughes. Chris, can you give us any pointers at all about bypassing verification for GBP? Service area. Would creating lots of citations and other links information before trying to create the GBP be helpful? No. Not necessarily. I know what would be helpful is a trusted account. A trusted account, a service area business that offers online goods, a non-exact match business name, but it's all account based. It all starts with the account. What kind of account do you have and how trusted is the account? All right, Richard Johnson says, I don't know if I missed your response or if I missed my question. I'll scroll through later. I have an old WordPress site that is quite large and old. Lots of database bloat that is slowing things down. Would using Live Canvas help, or should I do a fresh install and rebuild the site? Richard, I think that's completely up to you. Live Canvas is something that I like. It's clean code. It keeps everything small. The site is fast. You know, I think that's completely up to you. But cleaning up the site, increasing your actual resources on the site is going to be very, very helpful. And you know, doing a whole rebuild usually is very, very painful. But it all starts with your server. Where is it hosted at? Then the next thing is, if you're using WordPress, is, well, what's the builder? You know, how thick is the code? What kind of speed plugin do you have? But it all starts with that server. I would take a look at your server first. Take a look at your server, only keep the stuff that's actually valuable, and then take it from there, all right? Hopefully that helps you. Keith says, entity drive stack. Do you create a new generic email for silo? Use proxies. What authority will the 4 links generate? I mean, it's 4 links. It's 4 links. I mean, I would create your first one within the actual account that you have for your business. Just look at them as small citations, right? Like, don't get too crazy with it. Make the assets and then move on. What kind of authority? Very little, but is it worth having? Why not? Because a lot of those elements will index, and when people look up your name, your business, your address, your phone number, they usually show up. My maps, slides, sheets. It's another point. It's another location to get people back to your asset, your website. So you can create those assets so fast. So because of the speed in which you can create them and how easy it is and how they're usually indexed, the cost to value ratio is very high. So I don't see anything wrong with it. I would do it. So hopefully it helps you. Hina says, can you please tell us the future scope of SEO in digital world? Where are all businesses going online? Can you please tell us the future scope of SEO in digital world where all businesses go online? I don't. Hard to say, my friend. That's a broad question, don't you think? Who am I to? I don't even ponder those types of things. Changes happen generally gradually, and we evolve with the changes. Right? So I think it's going to be gradual over time, and we'll learn and evolve as things change. So don't dwell on that. Dwell on right now, and dwell on how you can keep evolving. All right? Whether it's strategy, whether it's ads, do better keyword research, better gap analysis. The list goes on. So I don't even think like that. I don't think about those types of things. I just think about how can I evolve as things grow and change. That's all. All right, so hopefully that helps you. Which is the best strategy? Same content with difference of locations, or different content for each location? Different content. Thank you so much, sir. Mark, not sure how to message you. I just booked an appointment with him. Oh, okay, that's fine. I gave him, yeah. Mark, just text. But if you booked time or clients only, that works. All right, coordinate. I've been doing my own SEO for my website and doing pretty well lately. Definitely a ton of room for improvement. I'm not sure what to do next to optimize my website and GMB. Should I book a consultation? If you're truly unsure, you've been doing your own SEO for your website and doing pretty well lately. Definitely a ton of room for improvement. I'm not sure what to do next to optimize my website and GMB. A half hour could be very, very helpful. I can certainly expedite your process, the curve, like the pathway to success. I can expedite for you. Now, whether you want to pick certain questions out in order to get your answers for free, or if you just want to book a half hour and have them ready, and I can take a look at what you have, where do you want to go? Really, that's what I'm looking at. What is your actual goal? And now let's look where you're at, and here's where we want to be. Okay, here's the work that needs to be done to reach the goal. I can help execute that a lot faster, perhaps, than you. So, yeah, I mean, it's always up to you, my friend. Sorry to be not a pest. Taz, thank you so much. You're my SEO superhero. Well, thank you. More than SEO. For clients who run local events besides event calendars and G's, event listing plus press release, if budget permits, do you suggest other ways to get link juice long after event is over? So, okay. You know, I pondered this exact question. And where we made a fatal error, I can only speak from my own experience, right? What I would make sure of is the events, the event offers, and the pages, I would make sure that they're evergreen, right? So let's just say, for instance, if I had digital unfiltered, I don't want to have digital unfiltered 2023. I want to just have digital unfiltered, the SEO event. So then I'm able to continuously create press around that, drive more links. I'm able to create videos around that. I'm able to create pods around that. I'm able to create social posts around that, GBP posts, GBP articles, LinkedIn articles. I'm able to keep creating buzz around that event, even though that one has already ended, because we're probably going to want to do it again. So, with that being said, I would never tie a year or a specific, I would try to not tie as much specifics to something and make it as evergreen as possible so I can always continuously market. So I think you're on the right path though, with the press, with the event posting pages, that type of stuff. Just try to keep it top of mind and fresh so I can keep it going. So when it comes to next year, I'm already strong. And that was just a lesson that I learned from our last event. So in any case, hopefully that's helpful. All right, where is it? There it is. Here we go. All right. What time is it here? 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're almost done, but I'm going to get through these questions here. All right, so thank you so much. Okay, let's say someone is in D2L, web shell are destroyed SEO. How to beat web shell user. So somebody made a backdoor and they destroyed your SEO. How do you beat them? I would look to have somebody fine comb through the cPanel or your file folders in order to find said backdoor, and then I would then look for that same person to then block every single entry point back to the website, because clearly you either have really big fans, whatever you're doing, you need to be mindful, it sounds like. So it sounds to me that you need to get somebody on your team that has offense and defense in mind as far as security is concerned. And I would look to make that investment. So that's the best that I can help you with, because that's not my specialty. That's not really what I do. But hopefully that helps you out. Darren3 says, let's say someone is in a suburb in the ATL and has built citations with an address, has an address on the site. I'm doing well in the suburb, but want to rank everywhere. Remove the address from Google Business Profile. I don't know about the GBP, because you can have one location. What I would do in that particular instance is on my home page, which is the page that's attached to that GBP, I would limit, I wouldn't talk about the address. What I would do though is I might consider creating an internal page, because if I want to rank in more than one location with my website and do well all over, then that would mean that that GBP is tied to a specific city or town. So what I would do in that instance is I would optimize and create that internal page that's targeting that city or that town and list that address that I have that GBP for. Talk about the services, optimize the page as normal, put the address on there, and then that GBP I would internally link to that internal page. This way, I'm not hyper limited to one location, and Google's not going to demote me for these other locations that I want to rank for. This was an error that I made. So yeah, I think it's not take it down or detune the GBP. It's more on the website and the page that you connect the GBP to. Hopefully that helps you. All right. All right, let's keep it rolling. All right, thank you, Chris. Wish you a good day. I wish you a great day. All right, so D2L was the last person. I'm going to get through the rest of these. We're at the end of our session here. SEO Bright Minds. I have my site fluctuating from position 15 to position 60 and 70. That's a big jump. Is being perform CTR is being site is being CTR. Do you think AI measures user behavior and ranks change every day? Yes. If there is an influx in user behavior, Google will react temporarily to that user behavior because of popularity. They want to make it easier for you to be found. Now, whether that shoots you up to position 1, highly unlikely, but like you're mentioning, your true position is 70, 60, 70. But with manipulation, you can jump to 15, right? So with proper on-page optimization, proper off-page SEO, better internal linking, probably better on-page, when you get that temporary spike from CTR and user interaction, instead of going to 15, you could maybe hit 7 or 5. So are they measuring the user behavior temporarily? No question, yes. Yes, they are. But it can change so rapidly. All right. All right. Hey, I have a question. Why Google seem to rank websites based on nothing that we can see? The best website in the world, according to our SEO knowledge, could be outranked by an old and bad SEO site. Age is a massive factor, and page age is a major factor. I think page age is one of the biggest SEO factors that there are. My partner and I, my friend and I, Andy, had this conversation months ago, and it's the only thing that you can't rush is page age. And we've tried every tactic imaginable in order to, hurry up the clock, but it's the unspoken factor that nobody ever talks about is page age. People always talk about domain age, and that's one thing. But page age is the true factor here. After how long did you see a result with CTR and how notable it was? People say it works in 2 to 3 months. I disagree with that. Generally, you can get ranking increases within the first 7 to 10 days. More than SEO. Thanks for last week's suggestion on Web3 links. I'm starting to see more of the URLs indexed, so now structuring my tests as you suggest. We'll email you some results from the 9 different types. Cool. That would be cool. I would like that a lot. Imor Noor from Pakistan. Awesome. Pakistan. Josh, more than SEO, where was this discussed? I desire to know more. We just chatted in the last live that we held here. Hey Chris, what is the best Parasite SEO for now? Not a tactic of mine, really. Darren 3, you have nice hair. Is the buzz cut for efficiency? Exactly. That's right. Little Chris generally does it. Sometimes I have a friend of mine in Tamaqua on Broad Street. He has like a parlor. We're buddies. Sometimes I'll go in there and have him cut my hair. You know, depending on his workload for the day or whatever. Or if we're looking to hang out, I'll ask him for a cut. But generally, I'll have little C buzz it for me, or I'll just buzz it really quick. It's efficiency. It generally doesn't have to be brushed. It's definitely about speed. Also, why I choose the same clothing. Very simple. Like, I don't have to guess or ask myself, well, what will it be today? You know, it's definitely going to be a black shirt. It's definitely going to be maybe perhaps some type of shorts. But they're all the same brand. Lately, I've been just getting this Reebok stuff. But usually Nike or Reebok or something that's this moist wickening material. I really, really like. It's like stretchy. But yeah, everything time. Time, my friend. All right, so Darren, so the GBP ranks in cities based on the sites. I was considering removing my pin to free it. I would leave the pin, change where the pin links to. I feel like it's hyper localizing my GDP. I've also noticed people with no pink rank 3 to 6 positions, but for more cities. Hopefully this adds clarity. If you're trying to get in more than one state, that's why I removed all my GBPs. Because it wasn't just about the top cities in the United States. I wanted to be recognized anywhere and everywhere, not just the USA at all. Like, I wanted to be recognizable in multiple areas. So yeah, hopefully that gives you some clarity. I removed all my personal GBPs, all of them, and I had them in almost every major city in the US, and they were relatively difficult to get. I still have one in the UK, I have one in AU, but yeah, the US stuff, we crippled it. Like, just started dinging them. Ding, ding. Even the one at my home address. Like the one I've had, well, I guess I moved that one actually. I moved it across the street. So I did move that one, but I transferred the reviews. Even that main one, I got rid of, you know? So, it's that. Thanks. If you're referring to the second half, we gave some testing suggestions to determine if ideas will work. That is correct. But time is up. I'll be respectful of your time. We will be meeting next time. It will be 4 Eastern Standard Time to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think as long as he's still up for it, we're going to see if we can do some images. I'm going to see if I can get some really nice images around here. I'll see if he's up for it still. If not, well, I'll maybe just go for like a little walk. I'll go down to the gym or go swimming or something, burn some energy, and then I'll finish off my report. I'll probably come back on here again later when I get bored out of my mind. Once I get done filling out my, I don't know, I wanted to add some more stuff for tomorrow or the next day. I forget what day. But either way, I'll see you again next week. I might come back on tonight. Maybe we can discuss some. Maybe I'll pull out my computer so I can do some work live. But yeah, hello, what's your name? My name is Chris Palmer. But thank you for your time. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you next week. Again, if you don't know, every single Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m., we'll meet here. This is the YouTube SEO Mastermind. It's group consulting or coaching, however you want to look at it. On top of this, we have SEOmastermind.org. We have a testing group and another very similar type session over there on Thursdays as well. Or if you need service or consultation, check out chrispalmer.org. there's anything I could help you with, ask in the section below. Oh, maybe that's what I'll do. I'll go through the comments tonight. That'll be fun. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure. I need a break. I've been sitting in this chair. My back is killing. Usually I stand. But thank you so much. You have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you again, and blessings. Have a great day. Bye-bye.